Hello, this is Spartan Commander, and this is the 41st Rome Total War Brotherhood battle that I've put onto YouTube. The team I'm in today consists of myself, Spartan Commander, who's bought the Rome SBQR faction. My other teammate is Brotherhood member Uther, who has bought the Britain faction here. And we have RTW player who's in a clan called Hall, and the name is Serena. And then we have Brotherhood member Pompey, who has bought the Brutii faction. So there you go, that's the team I'm in today, and it's like a pretty good team to me. And the team we're going to fight is also going to be a great team too. And here we have the other team. We have Wolves Snapdragon with the Rome Julii faction. We have Brotherhood member Talos with the Seleucid faction. We have Brotherhood member Gladius with the Scipii faction. And then we have Wolfzarga with the Julii Roman faction there. So looking at that team, that's really full of experience and some really great players there. This should be a really good battle for you to watch. At this stage of the battle, I thought you might like to look at Uther's Britain army here. At 31k, Britons are not that often bought. But here we are, there's their chosen swordsmen, who are their elite infantry, and with good upgrades are pretty tough troops. There you have their woad warriors, they're also pretty tough as well. And then we have the druids. Now the druids, when they're chanting, they actually increase morale of the fighting British troops here. And there's the actual British general there, as you can see, stood at the back of his troops. And then at the back of their infantry formation is the infamous head hurlers here. As you can see, they're carrying heads, and they've actually got heads attached to the belts, their belts as well, on their trousers. And these heads, when thrown, cause massive morale drop to the enemy who's being hit by the heads. Plus the heads are effective against armour, so they're good effective troops. And here we have the Brits chariots. I believe the British chariots are the best in the game, and the main thing about them is they don't run amok. Other battle videos you might have seen of mine have shown chariots that have run amok, and then they kill both enemy and friend and are a nuisance on the battlefield to both sides. And then usually Uther brings Brit light cavalry. This is an unusual unit to bring at 31k, but he uses them very effectively. He can run them around the battlefield using their speed to hit soft targets and be able to get away before the enemy heavy cavalry can get to him. So this is a great Brit army. At this stage of the battle, you'll see that Brotherhood member Pompey has kind of split his army into two. He's got one army this end and one army the other end, because he is facing two of the enemy team's armies. If you notice, he's facing Julii and Scipii, and the reason for that is because the Brits army under Uther are coming up behind him, and the Brit general never wants to face Roman troops head on with their British troops, because the pilers from the Romans would just destroy them. So as I say, Pompey split his army into two there to face two enemy Roman armies, and Uther's bringing his Brit army up behind Pompey, probably with a view to attack when ready through Pompey's infantry into the enemy team. Once again, here on our left, you can see that the enemy Julii team is using very aggressive tactics against Pompey's infantry. I think, sensing that they've got kind of two enemy Roman armies facing just Pompey's army here, I think the aggressive tactics are done deliberately here. Here you can see Uther bringing his light cavalry into the back of the enemy Julii infantry, probably with a view to rout them. But bearing in mind that those are light cavalry, they haven't got the impact of heavy cavalry, so unfortunately it didn't rout that enemy Julii unit there. If they'd have been heavy cavalry, they probably would have routed them. But that was a good move by Uther, because that's probably caused them a lot of casualties there, hitting them in the rear. Meanwhile, over on the right flank there, as you can see, there's my army there facing Wolves Snapdragon. And seeing the pressure on the left flank down there, I think that in a while I should probably be attacking there to try and take a bit of pressure off of that left flank. As you can see now, the enemy Juliard team are putting more and more pressure onto Pompey's infantry. And if you look at the number of cavalry, look at the enemy cavalry out there waiting to strike at the right time. You've got the infamous Seleucid Cataphract tank cavalry, plus the other enemy cavalry just waiting for the right time to hit into Pompey's army. So I think this left flank could well be the catalyst for this battle. When things start kicking off there, I think this is going to make a real difference. As you can see, Uther is bringing his Brit head herders forward here. And remember that those heads are effective against armour, and also they drain the morale of the enemy troops who are being hit by them. So as you can see here, what I'm trying to do is do a bit of close-in filming here so you can actually see them throwing the heads. As you can see, the black dots as the heads going through the air as they head towards the enemy team. As you can see, there's a lot of pilas being thrown in as well here from the enemy Roman units. But those heads are coming, I think by the looks of it, Uther's throwing the heads down onto the Seleucid pikemen there. The only trouble is, I think the head herders have not got a lot of ammunition. I think they might have about 5 or 6 heads to throw, and then after they've thrown them, they just go back to kind of being light infantry then. But my guess is that those heads that were thrown there caused a lot of damage to the enemy team there. As you can see, Uther's army is stretched out behind Pompey's army there, just waiting to attack. He doesn't want to get too close because the enemy archers would love to start shooting at his Brit infantry. Meanwhile, over on the right flank here, you can see that I'm advancing forward. I'm trying to take a bit of pressure off the left flank there, and maybe trying to draw a bit of tension away from the left flank as well. If I can draw some of their cavalry up this end, then that might lead to the opening that Uther's waiting for to be able to charge down into that left flank. As you can see here, my pilot shield unit is still intact, but his Julii is gone. So my infantry now are throwing pilas into packed enemy infantry units here, causing massive damage. And all they can do to reply is to hit my pilot shield, which is in open order. So I've caused massive damage to that Julii front rank there because he's actually lost his pilot shield unit that should have been taking the pilas. So now his whole entire front line is weakened, and I think what he's feeling the only thing he can do now is to attack my army. As you can see, I've managed to draw the Seleucid tank cavalry over to my side, which has weakened the other flank, which I'm hoping will give Uther the chance to charge in and help Pompey. As you can see now, the Julii cavalry are smashing into my infantry through his own infantry, and the Seleucid cavalry are moving out to my right flank. As you see, I'm counter-attacking with my cavalry now through my infantry into the Julii cavalry to try and take a bit of pressure off my fighting infantry. But when that Seleucid cavalry charges in, this could cause real problems. Luckily, my infantry have got good upgrades on them, and I'm hoping they'll be able to hold. I'm pretty sure that the veterans watching this would think if my infantry just had gold on, a lot of units would be routing and probably leading to a chain rout by now. But because my infantry's got good upgrades, they're managing to hold against that massive Seleucid impact. And now I'm pulling my cavalry back as I've seen a Seleucid cavalry unit in behind me there. I'm going to try and slow him down from hitting the back of my infantry. As you see, Talos is pulling his Seleucid infantry out from my flank, probably with a view to smashing again to get the cavalry charge bonus on this. And there they go, charging in again. Somehow my infantry's managing to hold against these massive cavalry attacks, and the Julii infantry hits as well. There's Julii cavalry going in again. My teammate HOL Serena sent some cavalry units to help me. But meanwhile, over on the left, the plan has worked. Through drawing over the Seleucid cavalry, Uther spotted an opportunity to charge forward with his chariots and infantry, and with Pompey's assistance as well. They look like they've managed to break the enemy left flank there, or our left flank, the enemy right flank, and it looks pretty good there. As you can see, this is another one of those strange battles where the main battle seems to be on the flanks, and if you notice, the centre is quite quiet. where the Seleucid pikemen are there's not a lot going on, but on both flanks this is where the battle is being won or lost. As you can see, on the left flank it looks pretty good. Over on the right I'm just going to try and hold on, and hopefully reinforcements will get over to me, but pulling my cavalry back and charging them back in to try and relieve the pressure off my infantry is causing the Julii infantry units to start routing now. So if I can just finish those off and then move over to the centre there to help take out the enemy centre units that are still left on the battlefield. As you can see over on our far left, Pompey's Brutii Roman army and Uther's Brits army seem to have beaten the enemy there on our left, and we're just moving in now to try and take out the enemy in the centre. As you can see, a lot of the Julii and Scipii enemy infantry are rallying at the back there. Units that have been routed are now rallying and coming back into the fray. As you can see here, I've managed to, with assistance from my teammates, we've managed to beat the enemy on our right, and I'm now bringing my infantry over to help in the centre battle here. I think looking at the numbers there, though, I think that I think our team has pretty well done enough to kind of win this battle, I think, looking at the situation. And I think it'd just be a matter of time before the last of the enemy units are routed here. This was a really great battle. Over on the left flank there, Pompey was holding really well, and then just at the right time I think Uther attacked with his chariots and infantry, and Pompey advanced at the same time as well, managing to rout the enemy on our left. So that was a great bit of tactical strategy over on the left by our team. And now we're just finishing off the last of the few enemy units.
The enemy general is slain, and now his men fear us. It is time to press the
attack. Really well played to everybody in the game here. Just like to say, really well played to everybody in the game. There was some great infantry and cavalry movements there. Really well played to the other team, and I'd like to say really well played to Uther and Pompey on the left flank, who actually through great tactics and strategy managed to break the left flank just using the right time to charge. Really well done, guys. And really well done to my teammate as well by the side of me, HOL Serena, who lent me cavalry support to help me hold on the right flank there. And really well done to the enemy team too. Great cavalry charges, great infantry charges. Really well played, everybody. This is Spartan Commander saying bye for now.